Ake sithathe nje isinyathelo ngesinyathelo. Uzobona-ke ukuthi ngikhuluma ngani. Understood.
And
No problem.
I want to believe that you have passed the matric, your matric, Mr. Madlala, so that I know which level do I engage you in terms of the questions, the line of questioning.
Cabanga-ke ukuthi uma tikolotsheni umphasile-ke ngikwazi ukuthi nami mangibuza imibuzo-ke okanye mangikhulumisana nawe lapho ngikwazi ukuthi kumele ngihlale kweliphi izinga-ke lokubuza imibuzo.
I suppose the witness doesn't have to answer that question.
Which metric are you referring to? The one which you passed with 30%? Or the one which I did about 50 years ago?
No, I think from the age of the witness, it's the current one.
I see, okay.
Yes, yes.
Yes, let's continue.
My qualifications, I don't think a witness. I think witness ngabe lumba owayekhona no akufanele ukuthi kuzoba umuntu ofundile as long as we witness. But le yokufunda I understand this as advocate.
Where qualifications are concerned, as long as you're a witness, as long as you were there when the incident transpired. But as far as education or your academic qualifications are concerned, I don't understand you there, advocate.
No problem, Mr. Mandala. If you have not passed matric, there is no problem. Let's proceed. We'll see.
Our passing matric as to beg.
I'll pass. I wasn't chasing Wushu. I leave class and
Thank you.
I did, and I did not fail even one grade. I did pass my matric, not even one class did I have to repeat.
Thank you very much. You know, if you're going to give positive answers like that, we're just going to be very short.
Yabona ke uma ngabe uzophana ke ngeimpendulo ezinjalo ezimfishane kanjalo ke nathi soba bafishane kanjalo.
You testified, Mr. Madlala, that you were a friend to the deceased. Am I correct?
Usho kanjalo ukuthi ubungumngani kumufi.
Kuyiqiniso lokho.
That is the truth.
And for a long period of
Kade
time.
side ningabangani.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, it is indeed so.
Am I correct to think that you were in good terms with the deceased at the time of his death?
Ngenkathi eshona bensazwana kahle na.
Yes, asikaze singazwani nje.
We were never in bad terms or in bad blood before.
Can you describe, okay, sorry, can I just rephrase my word? Would you discuss with the deceased as a friend of the deceased about love relationships one will have, yours and the deceased one?
Njengomngani nomufi benikwazi ukuthi ngingaxoxisana ke naye ngixoxe nje ngendaba zothando.
And about the girlfriends you had, you know, those sort of friendship.
Yes, we'll discuss such.
Okay. Have you also discussed the nature of the relationship, or did you know the nature of the relationship between the deceased and Ms. Kelly Kumalo?
Ubukwazi kwakwenzakala nike okanye ubudlelwano babukhona phakathi komufi no Ms. Kelly Kumalo. Ngakwazi ukuqaqisa lapho.
Yeah, bengazi ukuthi baya jola. If ngayibeka kanjalo bengazi ukuthi baya jola.
Yes, I knew that they were in a love relationship or baya jola.
Do you know if they had any problems or if they had encountered any problems?
Ubukwazi ke ukuthi mhlambe bene inkinga nje ingcinama ezazikhona mhlambe elokhu nje edlelweni babo.
Angeke ngakhuluma ke lokho ezinto zenzekile ngaphambilini engafuni futhi mina.
Well, I cannot answer that one. There are certain things that transpired previously that has got nothing to do with me that I cannot answer.
And you further testified that you came to visit Senzo, the deceased, on the 26th of October when the incident took place.
Wakusho ke ukuthi ubuzovakashela umufi makuzokwenzeka lesi sigameko nge 26 ka October 2014.
Yebo kunjani.
It is so, yes.
Did you know where the deceased was staying at that time?
Ngaleso sikhathi
When you
ubukwazi
came
ukuthi
to visit him?
Mawuzomvakashela kanjalo ngaleso sikhathi ubukwazi ukuthi behlala kuphi?
Ya bengazi mangaphosisi mhlawumbe sengivakashe kathathu.
Yes, yes, I knew where he was residing. If I'm not mistaken, I had already visited him about 3 times.
Okay, where had you visited him?
Ubumvakashela kuphi mawuzomvakashela?
Sengisho entweni yakhe ehlangene noKelly labe behlala khona eMalbatini.
In their affair with Kelly, where they were residing in Malberton.
Ngivakashe endaweni eziningi akahlala kuzona uSenzo. Sengisho la esehlala khona noKelly bekuyise eMalbatini.
Now I had visited Senzo on various residential places. I'm now referring to where he was residing with Kelly,
Okay.
that is in Malberton.
How many times had you visited the deceased? In Joburg. If you can recall. If you can't recall, there is no harm. Just tell the court you can't recall.
Uma ngabe ke uyakhumbula ukuthi wamvakashela ukuthi bekehlala kuphi nje mawungakhumbuli ukuthi ube nolokho njani uye wamvakashela kangaki.
Ngiyamvakashela eWinchester.
I visited him in Winchester
Aphinde ngivakashele eBarkley
and Berkeley as well
naseMalbatini.
and Malberton as well.
Okay. Where last had you visited him?
Okugcina wamvakashelela kuphi?
Malbatini.
Malberton.
For how many times?
Kangaki ke uvakashele eMalberton.
I think kathathu manginali futhi.
If I'm not mistaken, 3 times.
Okay. So you were acquainted with Miss Kelly Kumalo?
Kanti
Am I correct?
ubumazi ke uKelly Khumalo.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Whose place was it at Malberton?
Bewindawo kabani khona laphana eMalberton?
If you know.
Uma ngabe uyakwazi lokho.
Bengazi ukuthi indawo yasezo mina.
I knew it to be Senzo's place.
Okay. And it is your evidence that at the hospital, after the incident had taken place, midnight, you did not have a place to sleep. As a result, you went with Miss Kelly Kumalo and Zali to Malberton. Am I correct?
Ngabe ke ngiqinisekile ke or ngiqinisekile uma ngithi ngiqinisile uma ngithi wena ngalolu busuku ngekhathi nisesibhedlela mase nisuka esibhedlela ubungesenayo ke indawo yokuyolala ngalokho ke wahamba no Miss Kelly kuya khona le eMalberton ngabe kuyiqiniso lokho?
Not exactly because ngangihamba nomthoko before ngithanda.
Not exactly. I could have traveled together with Mtogo if it was what I actually wished for.
Yeah, so why did you choose to go with Kelly instead of going with
Yini uye
Mtogo?
wakhetha ke ukuthi uhambe noKelly ungahambi noMthokozisi?
Angithi inhloso yami vele bengivakashele lapha ya.
Now, remember initially my intention was to visit that place.
And ngingaqali futhi ukuza khona.
And that was also not the first time visiting that place.
Okay. So that's the reason you wanted to spend that night with Kelly.
Kwaba yisona sizathu esenza ukuthi wena ufuna ukuqeda ubusuku bakho khona laphayana naye.
Angazi ukuthi ngizophendula ngithini because ekugcineni nje wangangizela kwakuzobukeka kanjani after sekwenzeke lento nama ngisekho futhi.
Now, I don't know how should I answer that one. Since I had come here and the incident transpired, what picture would it cast if I were not to be found after the incident?
And when did you make the statements?
When's lesi statement nini?
Sokuqala.
Is it the first statement? There are
The
many
first-
statements that are
The
made.
first statement,
Statement
immediately
of-
after the incident.
Emva ukuthi kwenzakale lesigameko wasenza lesi statement.
Hey lapho ngizothanda unga because masibuya esibhedlela. Masibuya esibhedlela siye la kwenzeka khona lento. Khona nomunye uphoyisa wayebhale ngibuza. So angazi noma kwakuyi statement naleso.
I would be a bit unsure about that because even when we came back from the hospital and there is one police official that was asking me questions and he was writing something or she was writing something, so I cannot say as to whether was that now a statement or what.
Okay, did he ask you to sign any document
Wakucela ukuthi mhlambe kube ne-document ethizoyisayinayo
at that time?
ngaleso sikhathi.
No wayengibuza nje ngento enzile labhale phansi but ngikhumbula ngisayini.
I do not remember signing any document. All that he was doing was interviewing me about what transpired there.
So it means you did not sign any statement that night?
Lobo busuku azange usign
Yes,
statement.
ngizange sayini.
That is correct. I never signed.
And from Exhibit V1, you only signed on the following day, which is 27.
Wasana Gay 27. Kumba kuleso statement esithi V1.
Yes, ngiyakhumbula sase police station.
Yes, I remember we were at the police station at Fort Lores.
And from the date of incident up to the time when you made the statement on the following day, you were with Miss Kelly Khumalo, Miss Zandi Khumalo.
Sonke lesikhathi
Correct.
ngoba ukuthi kwenzakala lesigameko kufika ngalesi sikhathi uzophana ngestatement sakhe emaphoyiseni. Ubuluko unaye uMiss Kelly Khumalo noMiss Zandi Khumalo.
Yabo ngisho kanjalo.
Yes, I would say so.
Okay. And obviously you discussed about the shooting incident, which was traumatic to you guys.
Sobala ke ukuthi nakhuluma ngaleso sigameko sokudutshulwa ngoba ke wa ushatekile. Oba non-shatekile.
Not exactly because indlela oyisho ngakho not exactly because kwakuleke kufika abantu so nesimo ngangikusona mangakutshela nje iqiniso nokulala ngangisaba ngisho ukuvala amehlo.
Not exactly as for how you are putting it now, because there were instances or intervals of the arrival of other people as well. Even myself, the state I was in, I couldn't even wink a little.
Let's try, Mr. Madlara, to answer what has been asked. If I want to ask about your condition, I will ask that. But for now, my question is, obviously from the time of the incident up to the time when you made the statement, you'll discuss this case. You'll discuss the traumatic incident we have just gone through, because we were sitting down discussing directly or indirectly.
Manje asiphendule lokho ke obuzwa khona. Zama ukuphendula lokho. Kanti ke ukusuka ngalesi sikhathi kwenzakala lesigameko ukufika ke leso sikhathi ke uzophana ngestatement May 27 October 2014. Ubunaye kakhulukazi ubani uKelly naye uZandi Khumalo. Enibeni lokunxoxa ke ngokuthi ke lesi sigameko saba buhlungu kangakanani wanisandiphatha kanjani ukuthi mhlambe wamtshela umuntu ngqo okanye wezwa mhlambe bona beloko bekhuluma kodwa ke lento yakhulumeka.
No, isikhathi esiningi advocate nje sorry ukuthi uphendula ngalendlela. Isikhathi esiningi Kelly ubeyivalele ekamereni. Then mase kufika lawo bantu abeza kuyena. Njengoba ngingachaza phambili kwafika noChiko, khona umfana wafika noAkhumuzi. Babefika nje baningi. Babefika bebaningi abantu lapha.
Well, what I can say to you, advocate, that Kelly most of the times she would lock herself in the bedroom, and as I've indicated that there are a number of people that would also frequently be arriving there, and the likes of Chico Twala also arrived. One young man also arrived there, Oteno Banu Sipo Akumzi also. Then it was uzophuma ke ababone, then aphinde futhi
Ya umuntu wayekhona nje uma wakhe.
uzophuma uKelly.
Aphinde aye ekamereni yakhe aphinde ahlale nalabantu la.
Yes, and then Kelly would come out of the bedroom and entertain those visitors and then go back again into the bedroom.
Okay.
Umama wakhe wenzani?
Uyena phela wayeleke khona nje ngenza ukudla ngani because ngangafuna nokudla ngaleso sikhathi.
And her mother was also instrumental in preparing food, because myself during that time,
They were feeding you with food.
at that time I did not want food.
Bebengibuza ukuthi ngilangilamba ngani.
They would ask me as to whether am I not hungry.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So they were offering you. They were doing some favors to you.
Bekwenzela ke ama-favorites.
Understand mawusho.
I don't understand you when you
Offering
say that.
food.
Bakupha ukudla kusho okanye
Igama
mhlawumbe.
lika favor lingena kanjani?
Now, how do you bring favor into
And
this
also
now?
offering you accommodation.
Bakupha ke nendawo yokuhlala.
Accommodation ngingachazela ukuthi eyakasenzo, ngazi ukuthi eyakasenzo.
No,
So ngisasile endaweni yakasenzo.
I have already explained to you that as far as the accommodation is concerned, that is Senzo's place.
And
I'm still at Senzo's place.
And it is your evidence also in chief that the person who had deposited money for you in order to be able to come to Joburg, it was Miss Kelly Khumalo.
Wakusho ke ebufakazini bakhe bokuqala ukuthi umuntu wadepositela imali kwaba uye uMiss Kelly Khumalo.
Yes, wayengekwazi usenzo because the day babezodlala ngosomuntu Saturday.
Yes, Senzo would not be able to do it because they were going to play on that day.
don't belong, Mr. Madala. If
Ungabi
the
bonke.
answer is yes, just say yes. The
Uma
person who
impendulo ukuthi
deposited
yebo.
money for you to come to Joburg, it was Miss Kelly Khumalo. Yes.
Umuntu wakufakela imali yokuthi uze la eGoli kwaba uMiss Kelly Khumalo kunjalo.
Angazi ngizokuphendula kanjani because mayiqala lento ngifonela uSenzo so ngazi ukuthi yonke lento iphuma kuyena ukuthi ifaka ubani kanjani angihlangene
I don't know how to answer you on that
because
because
uzwile sengikushilo.
all these things started with Senzo, being involved in it. I understand that it was Senzo that have arranged that I should come, and as to who actually had the opportunity to go and deposit, that is something that I cannot really understand.
Was it not your evidence during examination in chief that the person who deposited money for you to come to Joburg was Miss Kelly Khumalo?
Akusibona ubufakazi bakho ukuthi umuntu owafaka imali yokuthi wena uze kwaba uKelly Khumalo.
Ngikushilo lokho.
I did say so.
Okay, are you changing it?
We are changing
So
our
you're
mind.
speaking with
Ayikho into la ngizoyishintsha advocate.
There is nothing that is contained in here which I will change.
So
I
you
will
agree
never
with
change.
me that another offer that was given to you by Miss Kelly Khumalo is the money that she deposited to you in order to come
Yes,
to
because I think, with respect, I think counsel is misunderstanding the witness. The witness did say he was in communication with the deceased, and the deceased inquired as to whether he received the money, and the money then reflected, and the deceased then phoned him thereafter. And the witness has said he's been under the impression that it's the deceased who arranged that.
Yes, that's how I understood the evidence.
Thank you, my lord. But the person who did the actual deposit was Kelly.
Whose money was it? That's the point. Whose money was it, as far as you are concerned?
Eyasenzo.
Kuya ngawe,
Eyasenzo.
kuya mali yabantu. It was Senzo's money.
Let's make some progress, please.
Okay, when you arrived inside the house at the Khumalo's homestead now, you testified that you consumed some alcohol. Am I correct? Is that
Manfika
your
lapha
evidence?
kwaKhumalo uye wafakaza ukuthi nena phuza utshwala kwani beniphuza utshwala.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, it is so.
And it is also evidence that you only drank two.
Ubufakazi bakho ukuthi
Did you say 2 or 3?
waphuza 2 noma 3.
So lesithatha ngathi lalingakapheli ya.
I did not finish the third one.
Okay. I'm going to show you the pictures of the evidence that was recovered by the police at the crime scene, and that evidence was taken into photo albums, and it's the evidence before this court as the only cans that were recovered inside the house.
Ngizokubonisa ke isithombe sengxenye zofakazi ezathola amaphoyisa uma amaphoyisa efika lapha kanti ke kwenziwa ke izithombe ngalezo ngxenye zofakazi.
Yebo.
Yibona kuphela ke ufakazi mayelana ke nokuthi kwathola khona lapha endlini. Yibona ke ufakazi obukhona.
Is it also evidence that all of you were inside the house were consuming alcohol?
Ubufakazi bakho
Or it was
ukuthi
only you?
nonke bensendlini beniphuza utshwala nonke bensendlini.
No, I don't think umntwana angaphuza utshwala. I don't think umakhelwane engaphuzi nabantwana babengaphuzi.
No. I do not think that a child would have consumed liquor, and Mrs. Kelly Khumalo or Mrs. Kelly Khumalo Senior, she also was not drinking liquor.
Okay. Then tell us who were drinking.
Oh, bana bephuza utshwala.
It was yourself?
Bekuwena,
Zandi,
was myself,
Kelly, Senzo, Mthobo.
myself, Zandi, Kelly, Senzo, and Togo.
Okay. Excluding, except for the mother and the child.
Ngaphandle ke bomama
Ninga,
nengane.
yes.
That is correct.
So the cans that you had consumed will be more than the 2 that are depicted there. Am I correct?
Ushuthi ke amakhelwane waphuzile andlule lawa abonakala lesi.
I mean all of you,
Should nina nonke.
out of all the people who were drinking inside the
Nina
house.
nonke ke beniphuza lapha.
Yebo kunjalo.
It is indeed so, yes.
So in other words, the amount of cans that are depicted in that picture does not reflect the correct amount of cans you had consumed, all of you inside the house.
Usho ukuthi ngamanye amazwi lokho kubonakala laphayana ke akubonisi ke isithombe esiphelele o esimayelana ke notshwala enaphuza ninonke bonke lobo butshwala.
Yebo uqinisile akubonisi lokho and akubonisi futhi lokho sababu sefridge. Akubonisi futhi noba sebulahliwa sebu-empty.
Yes, you're definitely right. It doesn't show even the liquor that was in the fridge, and as well as those that had already been discarded. It doesn't show. You're correct.
Is there anyone who will clean up, remove the empty cans as you were continuing drinking?
Ngabe khona umuntu obeloko esusa ke amakhena empty manje lokuqhubeka naniphuza.
Ngiyacabanga kunjalo because sasingikaze ahlale la ama-cans phambi kwakho because enza ne-number. I don't think ayizohlala la phambi kwethu kanjalo.
I think it was so.
Because nokulanda futhi ekitchen ayilandwa umuntu sasingabe siyilandela thina ayilandwa umuntu asilethile.
I think it was so. We couldn't just keep the empty cans there. And even going to the kitchen to get the liquor, it wasn't ourselves that would go and fetch the liquor from the kitchen. Somebody was bringing the liquor to us.
Okay, to be specific, did you see anyone removing cans?
Ethi ngisho kanjalo uke wabona umuntu esusa amakheni lapho?
Cha.
No.
Up to the time when you left to the hospital?
Nize nihambe ke niye esibhedlela.
Yebo.
Yes.
And at the time, by the time when you left to the hospital, there is no one who cleaned the floor inside the lounge.
Ukufika leso sikhathi senihamba niye esibhedlela akekho umuntu oke wacleana khona laphayana phansi
where you had been sitting before the incident.
ngase lounge ngabe niloko nihleli khona phambi kokuthi kwenzakala lesigameko.
Angingamphendula lapho because thina saphuthumisa usenzo and then ukuthi kwenzakalani after sambile angeke ngakwazi lokho.
I do not have the surety of that because we rushed Senzo to the hospital. As to what happened after we had left, no, I do not have any knowledge of
No,
that.
my question is before you left to the
Mina
hospital,
umbuzo wami ukuthi angokuba nihambe niye esibhedlela.
did you see if there is anyone, try to recall, did you see if there is anyone who cleaned the floor?
Kungabe angokuba nizohamba
lounge.
esibhedlela.
Hayi anginotisanga lokho.
I did not notice that.
Okay. You furthermore, when you were during cross-examination by one of the defense counsel, you said how possible that Ngashe would have chased, followed the suspect. What is it that they were carrying? Do you remember that answer that you gave? Yeah.
Bebephethe ini onqashe mabagijimisa. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, just correct me if I'm putting it the other way
Uma ngabe
around.
mhlamba ngiyibeke kahle ke
Okay.
ungiqondise. Yes.
You remember that?
Uyakhumbula lokho?
Yes, ngiyakhumbula.
Yes, I remember that.
So in other words, you were saying how would Ngashes be able to trace an armed person when they were not armed? Am I
Ngamanye
correct?
amazwi lokho bokusho ukuthi bebengagijimisa kanjani umuntu ophethe isikhali kuyena kodwa bona ke bengaphethe isikhali. Ilokho mhlawumbe uqondo kusho.
Ngibuza ukuthi babephetheni.
I only asked what were they in possession of.
Why did you ask that question?
Yingani uyowabuza lo mbuzo?
Ngibuzisa ukuthi kunzima ukuthi ungajaha umuntu ophethe isibhamu ungaphethe lutho.
I'm asking that question because it is difficult for you to chase a person who is in possession of the firearm and you are not even in possession of any weapon.
If it's difficult for a person to chase someone who is armed, and when that person is not armed, how come Longwetwana was able to push an armed person and run away?
Manje ke uyakusho lokho ukuthi kunzima ukuthi umuntu angagijimisa umuntu ophethe isibhamu yena engaphethe lutho kuyena. Kuze kanjani ke ukuthi uLongwethwala aphushe lo muntu obephethe isibhamu kodwa kungukuthi uLongwethwala yena ubengaphethe isikhali kuyena.
And also secondly, before you answer, just hang in there if the court allows me. How come also the people who were not armed inside the house were able to attack the alleged intruder having a fire?
Manje nabo labo bantu abangasendlini abebengaphethe lutho kuze kanjani ukuthi ke bona bayeke bahlasele umuntu okanye baphushe umuntu owayephethe isikhali bona ukuthi bengaphethe lutho.
Yebo ngiyabuza ke siqale ngalokho kwalonga nje.
Yes, I hear you. Let's
Lokho
start
kwalonga
with
ngifana nawe nami advocate. Nami ngisazibuza la namhlanje
well,
ukuthi wayenza kanjani leyo nto. Ngiyafana nawe nami.
I'm just like you on that one. As for how he did it, I'm still asking myself that question. How did Longwe do that?
But it's impossible for a person who is not armed to push someone who is armed, approach and push someone who is armed.
Akhonakala ukuthi umuntu ongaphethe lutho kuyena aphushe umuntu ophethe isikhali kuyena.
Ngiyajabulela ke lo part ngoba lo muntu akashoni usakhona. Kufanele eze la azophendula yonke into ukuthi wayenza kanjani yena.
You see, I like that part because the person to whom this refers is still alive. He's not dead. He can come and answer for himself.
Don't worry about that person. He's coming. I'm asking now, it's your turn to answer your question. You had said,
uzoza isikhathi sakho ithuba lakho le ukuthi wena ukwazi ukuphendulayo.
You had said,
I was mawuthi umphusha kanjani but mawusuthi futhi liyezi ithuba lakhe wena impilo for ubuze yena hayi to me.
No, I cannot answer for him. I cannot answer for him. If you ask me how was he able to push him, and yet you are asking that to me, you should ask that to him and not to Melo.
I'm asking from what we have said in this court.
Ngikubuza nginqi kuloko okukhulumile la enkantolo wena.
And I'm asking your understanding to what we have said to this court to say it would have been difficult for Ngashe to follow and chase armed suspects. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Lokho wena okushilo ukuthi kuyoba nzima ukuthi uNgashe agijimisa okanye oNgashe bagijimisa kanjani ke abantu abaphethe ikhali bona bengaphethe.
So in other words, I am saying it would also have been difficult for Longwe to approach an armed person. Same as Ngashe's.
Wona lo mqondo bese ngizalana ke kulongwe ngithi nakulongwe ke bekuzoba nzima ukuthi azophusha umuntu ophethe isikhali kuyena kungukuthi yena ke bengaphethe lutho.
100% right.
So, as a court prisoner, the witness says it happened, as to now why should he now cast his mind back and say it would have been difficult? I don't think it's a fair question. Maybe my learned friend can leave it for argument.
Thank you, my lord. If my learned friend is giving the answer on behalf of the witness, I take it, my lord, and I accept it. It's more clear. It's more clear now. The answer is clear. That's what I wanted. Thank you, my lord.
Kanti anginayo inkinga ukuphendula advocate. Ngirelaxe kakhulu ukuyazi nesikhathi sonke anginayo inkinga. Ngingabona ngathi ngiyaphenke ngivele ngithule la ngoba but ngiyakwazi ukuziphendulela.
If you knew, I'm so well relaxed. I'm able to answer for myself.
But into engayicela advocate.
Mr. Madlala.
Angibuzi kakhulu ngezitatements zabantu.
Mr. Madlala.
Uzobuza ama questions.
Mr. Madlala.
Yes.
Please behave yourself.
Are we part
Behave yourself.
Ngokunjalo now advocate.
Mr. Baloyi is representing the state. He has raised an objection to the court. We are dealing with the objection which we have nothing to say about it.
Yabona ke Baloyi khona nje ukhathazeka ukuthize akuphakamisile okanye isiphakamiso asilethela enkantolo ke okwamanje sibhekene leso siphakamiso esiqhamuka ngapha ke Baloyi ke.
Do you understand that? Yes.
Ngiyakuzwa lo.
Yes.
But hayi ukuthi mhlambe ngiyaphendulela. Mina ngeke ngiziphendulela. Ngiyaziphendulela mina advocate.
It's not that I cannot answer for myself.
Yes.
I can answer for myself. Just relax, advocate. Relax.
If there is an objection, Mr. Madlala, you wait and you keep quiet.
Yabona uma ngabe khona ukuthize okukhathaza omnye wa abameli lana wena uthi ukulinda kancane ukuze inkantolo ikwazi ukuqhubekisa ke yazakala wena ke awukhuluma.
Yes. Until I ask you question, then you will then answer.
Ufikela ke leso sikhathi ke ngikubuza umbuzo wena ubuzwa imibuzo kulapho ke uzokwazi ukuthi wena uphendule. Yazakala?
Yes, Mr. Roy.
Next question.
I just want to point out that this evidence that is on record, my lord. No one is answering on his behalf. This is evidence that is on record.
Okay.
No problem, my lord. I will argue at the end of the state of the case, my lord. Can I just proceed, my lord?
Yes.
Thank you. Let's now get inside the house, Mr. Matano. Please listen carefully.
Lalela kahle ke bamazana. Singena endlini ke manje.
And think before you answer, Mr. Matano.
Cabange angoba uzophendula.
I know this thing took place.
Ngitshela ukuthi angicabange before ngiphendule. Angithi wena uyabuza ngiyaphendula. So
Mr.
must
Mshololo,
ngiphendule
why-
kanjani?
Sorry, hello.
Out.
Why do you want to argue with the witness? He must think before he answers.
How?
He's been answering. How many days have you been on the box?
Unensuku engakho
Kuloko
lokuzaleka.
ngina
He's been here for about 3-4 days.
Yes.
He must have been
About
thinking
3
at some
days.
stage, please. Just respect the witness also.
straight.
Yeah,
As the
let
court
her
is-
respect me.
As the court pleases.
Uh,
Can you just try to recall
Asizama
time-
ukuphendula.
at the time of the shooting incident now,
Ngaleso
inside the
sikhathi
house?
kwenza leso
You
sikhathi
understand?
ukudubula endlini ne?
Yes.
Yes.
It is your evidence that after the first gunshot was fired, you ran away.
Ubufakazi bakho ukuthi emva kokuthi isibhamu sichuma kokuqala wasuyabaleka.
Yebo kunjani?
Yes, it is so.
Did you see if there is anyone who also ran out of the spot where the shot was fired, be it in the kitchen passage where the shot was fired? Do you recall if there is anyone else who ran out of that space?
Yabona
Other
lesi
than
space,
you.
Bona la bekwenzakala khona ke lento ukuthi uqhuma isibhamu uyabaleka wena. Uye wabona ukuthi khona omunye wabaleka yini. Mhlambe ukusuka ekitchen uyabaleka usuka edining room uyabaleka khona lapha epassage. Kodwa ke oke wabaleka nje.
No, akekho ongambona ukuthi wabaleka washona ngakuphi. Akekho.
No, there isn't any person that I had witnessed running and they fled to where that I did not witness.
Okay. You did not see Zandi running into the bathroom?
Azange ubone uZandi ebalekela ngase bathroom.
Akekho engambona washona ngakuphi even nosenje wangitsagcina la kitchen kodwa mase ngiphuma esese edining.
There's no
Akekho
one that
ngambona.
I had witnessed that they ran to where, even Senzo himself. Only when I came out of the bedroom, I found him lying on the floor.
Okay, but in this case, I'm just being specific, Mr. Malan. If you did see Zandi running into the bathroom,
Yabona lana ke sesikhuluma ke ngendlela eyikhethile sibuza ngomuntu okuwuZandi. Uye wambona yini uZandi egijima ebaleka?
Angazi noma mina engirong yini la because mangithi akekho engambona. Manje masuthi angichaze futhi advocate angikandastand ukuthi
I don't know whether-
akekho ngambona into ayaphi.
Am I the person that is having a problem here? If I say that there isn't a person that I saw running and ending up to where, I don't know.
no, I was trying to be specific to say I'm not asking generally about other person now. I was being specific to say Zandi.
Yilokho engikushoyo ukuthi manje sengikhuluma ngoZandi ngamanye amazwi. Uye wambona uZandi egijima ebaleka.
Akekho umuntu engambona into ayaphi kubantu ababesendlini.
There isn't any person that I had seen running and ending to whatever point
Okay.
of the people that were inside of the house.
Before the shot was fired, did you see Ms. Kelly Kumalo running away of the lounge area?
Angokuba ke isibhamu sichume. Uye wambona ulokho njani uMiss Kelly Khumalo ebaleka esuka ngase launch.
Cha.
No, I did not.
Okay. Now let's come in now to the alleged first intruder.
Asize kulona ke ulalele sesiza kulowo qala owangena okanye umngeneleli wokuqala.
Yebo.
Yes.
Is it your evidence that he was wearing a hat?
Uthi ubufakazi bakho ukuthi ubegqoke isigqoko.
Yebo
Am I
kunjani?
correct?
Yebo.
That is correct.
Okay. Can you describe that hat for me, just for me? The hat that you saw,
Ungakwazi ke ukuthi unginikeze nje isithombe
Worn by the
umfanekiso
first
waleso
intruder.
waleso sigqoko ukuthi sasibukeka kanjani leso sigqoko.
Lesisikotshi esincane isikotshi.
It was a fine check
And kuyisigqoko.
pattern on it.
Yabo le gqoko mosibamba la ngathi sibaqama mosibamba la le gqoko ezibanjwa. Lezi ngathi siqinile akusizo lezi ezithambile. Angazi uzichazela kanjani.
This is a head.
Akusizo lezi endwangu ezithambile lezi okwazi ukusifonyoza sifonyoke yabo.
It wasn't one of those softer pinch or crown. It was a harder pinch and crown. Not just that, the lighter and softer ones on touch.
So in other words, you can't give any significant description of that hat, other than giving the explanation, the description that it was a small scotch with a brim, as you are saying.
The witness spoke about the pinch and the crown and not the brim.
Other than that, you can't give any significant
Ngaphandle kwalokho
features of that hat.
kwisikotshi nokuthi ke lesesicimile lokho kushilo okunye akukho okunye ongakhuluma ngakho.
Angicabanga ukuthi sikhona la ikhodi lena sethombeni singavezwa makuthi azokho sifuna ukusibona.
I think that picture is within the records here, or it is within the files in this honorable court, and perhaps we can refer to that if the advocate would want to see it.
No, don't worry about the picture. I just wanted to see if you are able to give a full description of that
Asiyekele
hat.
umfanekiso esinawo la kula mafile wasecourt. Ngifuna nje okuqhamuka kuwe ukuthi uyakwazi yini ukuphana ngencazelo yaso sona leso sigqoko. Yes, yes.
Did you have, or were you wearing any hat at that particular time, you yourself, at the time of the shooting?
Ubufaka isigqoko wena?
No.
No.
Okay. Correct me, Emma, if I'm wrong. You said at the time of the shooting incident, at the time when the first shot was fired, the second intruder was leaning against the door facing the house. Am I correct?
Makuzoxhuma ke isibhamu okokuqala. Uthi lona umngeneleli wesibili ube ncike nje ngomnyango ebheke ngasekitchen okanye ngaphakathi endlini. Sho njalo.
Mawungena ngomnyango beka right. Ngomnyango epeface engaphakathi endlini.
Yes, when you get into the house, it was just on the right hand side of the door, and yes, he was facing the house.
Okay, yeah, that's what I want to confirm. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, that's correct.
Did you see who fired that first shot?
Uye wabona ukuthi ubani owaqhubisa ke isibhamu kokuqala?
Cha ngibonanga.
I did not see that.
And immediately you became deaf and you ran away.
Manje ngaleso sikhathi kwavaleka amadlebe wasuyabaleka.
Yebo kunjani.
Yes, it is indeed so.
Okay. How many people did you leave inside that area? Was it Miss Kelly Kumalo, Makumalo Zandi, am I correct?
Abawungakho abantu abashiya wena mubaleka. uKelly Khumalo, uZandi Khumalo, uMakhumalo,
Senzo
and Senzo,
nabantu boyithu.
and those two intruders.
Okay, do you recall if Mtogozis was still there? Or he had ran out also
Uyakhumbula ukuthi
after
ngaleso
the
sikhathi
first shot was fired?
uyakhumbula ukuthi ngaleso sikhathi ke umthoko yena ube khona khona lapho kulabo bantu emva kokuthi iqhuma isibhamu kokuqala. Uyakhumbula?
Engikwazi ukuthi umuntu wasukuma late angisakhumbuli kodwa ukuthi wayekuphi kodwa uyena umuntu wasukuma ukugcina edanini because mangisukuma nami wayesasakhona umuntu kula edanini.
Now, what I can recall is that he was the last person to have stood up, because at the time that I stood up, Mtoko was still in the dining or the lounge area.
Okay,
That
no,
is what I can recall.
I'm asking now, after the first shot was fired, did you see Mtoko running out of the house?
Ngithi ever
Or
uthi
running into
isibhamu
the bedroom?
Sixhume isibhamu kokuqala. Uke wambona Mtoko mhlambe ebaleka ephuma endlini kanye eya bedroom. Uke wambona nje ebaleka Mtoko.
No, angimbonanga.
Okay.
No, I did not see him.
But wayesengaphakathi kuqhuma isibhamu angaphumi endlini.
At the time of the gun going off, he was still inside of the house. That
Okay.
I am sure.
After you had ran into the bedroom now, did you hear any shots being fired?
Emva kokuthi ugijimele ngase bedroom wena, uye wezwa isibhamu siqhuma futhi.
Njengoba sengishilo ukuthi isibhamu masiqhuma ukuqala kwaba nomsindo wenzeke emadlebeni nami. Lazi nginovalo okunye nokunye ngingasana ngase ngifuna ukuphuma ngaphandle la nje ngoba ngazi ngaye ewindini ngithi ngifuna ukuphuma ngiwingathi nginamabhaki.
As I've already indicated that after the gun went off for the first time, my ears were deafened, and also I was frightened during that time. And there is the ringing sound that I heard in my ears, and all that I needed to, relieve myself from is that area. I wanted to exit the house. It is for that reason that I went into the bedroom, ran into the bedroom, and I wanted to exit the house through the window. That is when I realized that there were the butler guards on the window.
Okay, so will I be understanding you correct to say you did not hear any subsequent shot gun being fired?
Ngabe ngizobe ngiqinisileke mangithi azange kuphinde uzwe isibhamu siphinde sikhale futhi.
Yes, ungasho kanjani.
Yes,
Okay.
you can say
And
so.
also, when the shot was fired inside the lounge passage, wherever that was shot, that wherever the place it is, you did not see who shot the deceased.
Uma ke isibhamu sichuma khona laphana kwi-lounge okanye khona lapho epassage, wena ke awuzange ubone ukuthi ngubani owadubula umufi.
Yebo ngibona ngabe kade ngamkhomba.
Yes, I didn't see who shot at the deceased.
But
I would have pointed that person out.
Umuntu wangena nesibhamu lo wamadred.
Now, the person, however, that came in with the firearm is the one that was having dreadlocks.
Yes.
And the deceased was shot when there was Miss Kelly Kumalo, there was Zandi, there was Makumalo.
Umufi wadutshulwa ngenkathi kukhona uKelly Khumalo, uZandi no Mam Khumalo.
Angeke abuke iqhubeka ubalo kaqedwe kubani.
No, you
Abantu abambalwa waqedwe.
you can continue to list people. Why do you just only list a few people?
Naye lo mfethu wayekhona ekhishini makuqhuma isibhamu nobhulu
They are not allowed to do that.
And this brother of mine, he was also there at the time the firearm went off.
I'm asking you a question. I am saying when the deceased was shot, there was Miss Makumalo, there was Miss Zandi Kumalo, there was Miss Kelly Kumalo. That's the question that I'm asking to you. Nothing else.
Kwakhona ke uMam Khumalo Miss Kelly Khumalo no Miss Zandi Khumalo ngenkathi umufi edutshulwa.
ufuna ungiphendulisa into engeke phela ngeke ngiphendule umbuzo onjalo because obviously nje ubuza khona ngathi une-answer imini engine-answer lokho so masubalo ngathi bukhona uyangididisa.
Now you are confusing me. You want me to answer the way that you want me to answer.
Let's move
and
on.
I'm the one that is
I
I am the one that is giving you the answers. Now you're speaking as though you were there also to witness this.
Let's move
No,
on, Mr.
advocate, no.
Let's move on, Ms.
wakhona
Magala.
bani then ngiphendule
Ask me who all was there. Let me answer you.
because mina bengisendlini.
Because I'm the one that was in the house.
I've passed that question. Can I ask another question?
Ngabuza omunye umbuzo.
Okay.
You are free.
Mr. Ngasha's evidence is that he saw a person against the window who was wearing a white t-shirt when the scuffle took place. You
Usho
understand
njalo
that?
unqashe usho njalo ukuthi uye wabona umuntu weskipe esimhlophe ngenkathi kwenzakala lento.
And,
Yes, I understand.
and it is your evidence that the person who was wearing a white t-shirt inside the house was the deceased only.
Ubufakazi bakho ukuthi umuntu befake iskipe esimhlophe ngasendlini umufi phela.
Yes.
Yes.
Is it correct, Mr. Madlala, that at the time when you looked at the person whom you have identified as the first suspect and the second suspect, you had consumed alcohol and you were frightened at that time after seeing the firearm being produced by the first so alleged intruder.
Ubufakazi bakho ukuthi lo muntu wangena kuqala lapha endlini ephethe isibhamu ubusuphuzile utshwala futhi ke ubuthukile ngenxa yokuthi ubone uphethe isibhamu lo muntu njengoba engena ke lo uqala.
Yebo ngiyakuzwa.
Yes, I can hear that.
And it is also evidence, Mr. Madlala, that the incident happened so fast.
Ngabe ubufakazi bakho ukuthi leso sigameko senzeka ngokushesha.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Will you agree with me that you did not have sorry, my lord, can I just rephrase that question? You said it's your evidence that the first intruder, demanded the cell phone and money in Zulu language.
Usho kanjani ukuthi lo umngeneli wokuqala wafika endlini wazofuna imali nama cell phone ekhuluma isiZulu? Usho kanjani?
100% right.
100% right.
Did he say anything else other than demanding cell phone and
Ngabe
money?
khona okunye okuthize akhuluma ngaphandle kokuthi afune ama cell phone nemali?
Hayi ngabe ngiyamsukela akukho kunye ukukhuluma.
No, there isn't any other thing that I would
he
be wrongly implicating him.
He never said futsek.
Azange athi futhi.
Angizwanga ngisho njalo.
I didn't hear him say that.
But wamafoni nemali khona engakuzwa.
But as far as phones and money, there's something that I heard to that effect.
Okay. At what stage, if you know, did Longwe Twala come back at any stage? Back to the house?
Uma ngabe uyazi uLongwe Twala waphindela futhi endlini nini?
Hey, mina ngimbonanga lo ngithala angifuni noma mhlawumbe ngoba but angibonanga even nasesibhedlela ngimbonanga.
No, I did not see Longwe
But
Twala.
angisho lo ukuthi akazi but mina ngimbonanga.
I am not saying that he did not return. Even at the hospital, I didn't see him.
Okay. Outside, when you were carrying the deceased to the house, did you see his car outside the premises?
Mase seningaphandle ke niqhubulele umufi nimsemotweni. Uye wambona wabona imoto yakhe.
Angiyibonanga and imoto phela lekufika kube yasenzo ngaphambili kube yakhe ngemuva eyayirepoleri red. So mase kuthatha usenze yahlehla le. But angayi mase siphuma nje ayingekho imoto yakhe la around la. Iginga segate.
Manprum.
Yeah, mase siphuma sambe usenze ayingekho. Angiyibonanga.
Okay. At the time that we are now driving or taking Senzo to the hospital, I didn't see his vehicle. His vehicle will be parked behind Senzo's vehicle. And that was a red Polo. But at the time that we were now driving or transporting Senzo, I did not see that vehicle.
And obviously you wouldn't know where he had ran into.
Futhi ngiyakwazi ukuthi wabalekela kuphi.
Yebo kunjani.
It is indeed so.
Did you see Mr. Chiko Twala at the hospital?
Ubaba Chiko Twala wambona esibhedlela yena?
Ngikaze ngimbone.
I did not see him at the hospital.
Let's go back a little. Okay, sorry, my lord, can I just rephrase? Do you know what happened to the deceased cell phone during the robbery incident?
Uyakwazi ukuthi kwenzakalani nge-cellphone kamufi ngenkathi ke kuphangwa khona lapha endlini?
Engabe ngidlala ngawo advocate engakuzwa nje ukuthi itholakala ngaphansi kwamakhabethe ekitchen.
Then I would I would be lying to you. All I know is that it was found somewhere under the cabinet, the kitchen cabinets.
Okay, but also do you know who kept the deceased cell phone from the incident and on the following day, subsequent to the incident?
Nokuthi uyakwazi ukuthi ngubani umuntu obephethe i-cellphone kamufi ukusuka ngalolo suku lesigameko ufika ngakulela langa elilandelayo.
Obviously ngabo yena okay because wena mangani yakhe I don't think ngaphathwa umuntu.
Obviously, it would be Miss Kelly Kumalo because she is the mother of his child. I do not think that it could have been in possession of any other person.
Yes.
No, okay, so it would have been with Ms. Khumalo,
Ibe
Kelly Khumalo.
Yes.
kungenzeka. Yes.
Just to go back a little bit, I left one question, sorry my lord. Inside the shooting incident, is it your evidence that you also attacked the suspect or you did not attack the suspect?
Ubufakazi bakho ke ilobo khona lapha madubuleka. Now uyasho ukuthi wamhlasela kanje wamlwisa lo
Let me clarify the first one.
kakhulukazi lo wokuqala.
Yes, ngasukuma kona even ngingamshayanga. Ngasukuma kona but ngaya but ngizange ngimshaye.
Yes, I also stood up, even though I did not assault him, but I stood up. Why are we?
Yes.
I stood up
towards
and
him.
I stood up and accosted him, even though I did not assault him.
Was there a stage where in you and Ms. Zandi Khumalo assaulted or attacked the second intruder?
Khona isikhathi la uZandi Khumalo noma Khumalo bashaya lo wesibili.
Zandi and Mr. Madlala.
O wena no Zandi nayo shaya ulokunja lo wesibili.
Angikhumbula umuntu wesibili nje ngikhumbula kuyimi noSenzo ayekena ngikhumbula nje umuntu.
The second person that I remember, it was myself. It was Senzo. It was myself and Senzo that were against the second.
Do you remember if the second intruder was in possession of any weapon?
Uyakhumbula ukuthi lona wesibili ubephethe isikhali kuyena noma cha?
Angibonanga ukuthi wayephetheni.
I did not notice what he was in possession of.
Ngabona nje uSenzo nimbambele isandla ngizandla zombili isandla saka right.
I saw Senzo grabbing his upper arm, his right upper arm, with both of his hands.
Okay, but in that upper arm that you saw, you did not see any weapon?
Ngibona
Azange ubone isikali. Yes, I did not.
Okay, and also on the other hand, you did not see any weapon?
yes.
Nakulesi esinye isandla. Yes.
So in other words, that person was not armed?
Ngamanye amazwi lowo muntu ubengaphethe isikali kuyena.
Angishongo kanjalo ngithe angibonanga.
I said that personally I did not see him in possession of the firearm. Oh, sorry, of the weapon, sorry.
No, it's fine, no problem, Mr. Madlala. Let's move on. And you also again testified that you were able to identify the second person
Yes.
who was leaning against the wall.
Kwazile ukumkhomba lo wesibili. Yes,
Yebo kunjani?
it is indeed so.
Can you tell this court about any distinctive features that you saw of this person?
Akutshela inkantolo ke izimpawu nje ezazikhethile ngalomlisa ombonile.
I know his head was covered because he had a hoodie.
Yeah, engikwaziyo ukuthi ikhanda lakhe lona ke lalemboziwe ngoba phela ke ubefake ihood.
Ngicabanga ukuthi ngiyachaza lo bizolo ngisazokuchaza futhi namhlanje.
I think I did explain that yesterday and I am still going to explain that today.
Okay.
Ukuthi mude wayedark enentshebe eround nala.
That he was
Khathi
tall.
nentshebe yakhe.
Yeah.
Right around besiba nelokhuzana nala.
That he was tall, darker in complexion, and that he had a round beard that was trimmed around the mouth to the chin as well, and that there was a little beard just underneath the lower lip.
So the description we have given right now, it means those are the description that you can only find from that person. No one else can have those features, yes.
Lezo impawu yizo zodwa ke okwazile wena ukuthi uyibone uze uphane ngencazelo yazo.
In other words, I'm sorry, Madam, can you just unpack?
Yes.
Thank you, Madam. In other words, the description that we have given, there is no other person who could have had such description other than the second intruder.
Ngamanye amazwi ke lezo impawu phane ngazo impawu efanele lo mngeneli wesibili phela akekho omunye ongafanelwe lezo impawu wena ophane ngazo.
There's no possibility.
Akukhonakala.
Angazi ukuthi ngizophendula kanjani mina ngijabule kabi ngoba ngikwazile ukuphinde ngimbone kanje.
I don't know how am I going
Bona
to
ukuthi vele kwangijabulisa kakhulu ukumbona kanje la ecourt.
I am so happy that I was able to see him again, because when I saw him in court, I was able to see that this is the very person.
I understand that, Mr. Madlala. You know what, Mr. Madlala, the reason why I'm asking the distinctive features of this person, it's because the person can be mistaken with identity for now and in 20 years and in 100 years. You understand?
Yabona ngikubuza kanjena ngoba phela ke umuntu ngaze nje ahlangahlanganiswe nomunye uyabona la manje masikhuluma ngayo unje emva kwe 20 years 100 years kukhona nje lento ukuthi ungaze udideke ukuthi ukhomba umuntu okungeyena obufanele ukuthi umkhomba.
Do you understand?
Awuqinisile ukuthi kungenzeka lokho.
Yes.
But amehlo wami ngemanje hayi ngeke wadide ngiyambona kahle impela.
Yes, it is
Now
true.
yes.
It is true what you are saying.
Ngimbona kahle impela.
However, right now, you cannot confuse my eyes.
Engisukele ngani umuntu.
I can see him right now. I see him, and even he himself knows that.
Yes.
I cannot wrongly implicate another person.
Okay. So can you now answer my question to say, is there a possibility that someone else could have the same features, could cut or trim the beard as you have explained?
Ungavumelana nami ukuthi kukhona umunye umuntu ongakwazi naye ke ukuthi akhathe amadeni leyo ndlela njengoba uye waphana nomfanekiso wakho.
Yes, kungaba njalo.
Yes, it may be possible.
Kungaba njalo.
It may be possible.
After the shooting incident, Mr. Madlala, did you have your cell phone with you?
Emva kokuthi kube nalesi sigameko sokudutshulwa ubune cellphone yakho.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you call the police?
Uye wafonela amaphoyisa?
Angikaze ngiwafonele. Impilweni yami nje angaze ngifonele iphoyisa.
I've never phone called the police, and in my entire life I've never phone called the police.
Okay. Just to report the incident that your friend has been shot.
Ukusho nje ukuthi umngani wami usedutshuliwe phela.
Okwafika kuqala lethwa ngafonela ubhuti wakhe.
What came first?
Ngaphinde ngafonela nomuntu angithanda ngathi usikhathi ngafonela abantu basekhaya. So lokho kumina ngikwakusho something.
Now, what came first was for me to phone call his brother.
Yes.
I subsequently phone called the person that I was in a love relationship with, and my family members at home.
I'm still coming there, Mr. Madlala. But
This is
here,
Sazana.
for now, I'm saying, did you call the police to report the incident that my friend has been shot here?
Uye wa-
Yes or no?
Yes.
If you did not, just say no, you did not.
Uye wafonela
And there is no
amaphoyisa.
harm.
Uma ngabe azange kwenze lokho, yisho nje ukuthi azange kwenze lokho. Akukho ku.
Ya ngiyakuzwa advocate akukho vele okubi kuloko akekho iphutha because umuntu omekile situation angeke ucabange straight ukuthi hayi awuthi ngithi manje ngifonele lo usukuthukile nawo ufonela lo ufika kuqala emqondweni wakho.
Yes,
So angizange wafonela amaphoyisa.
I understand, advocate. There isn't any error that one would have committed there. Because when a person is under such a circumstance, you are under shock as well. And you cannot, in a relaxed manner, say that now I'm going to phone call this one. And yes, I agree with you on that one. I did not phone call them.
And the ambulance?
The ambulance, you're not, why visa, why phone number?
Angiyazi nani number yayo ngabe
I
ngizala nawo.
don't-
Angiyazi nani number yayo.
And no, I don't even know the ambulance number.
The family, I understand that the deceased was a friend to you.
Yes.
Ngizwe ukuthi umufi wawumngani wakhe, yes.
Did you know his family?
Kanti umndeni wakhe ubuwazi.
Yebo ngiyawazi.
Yes, I know his family.
Did you have the number of any of the deceased relatives?
Ubunayo ke inumber, cell phone number mhlawumbe okanye inumber nje yokufa.
Advocate uyangididisa manje. Ngicela kumtshela manje ukuthi ngafonela umfowabo Senzo Sifiso. So
You're confused.
ngiyakuzwa le nto ungibuyisele emuva manje.
You are confusing me now, advocate. I've just said that I phone called his brother's Fiso.
Okay, so
Now
if
you're taking me back now. I've already said it.
I did not hear that, that's why I'm asking, did you have
Okay.
that number?
Ubunayo leyo number yakhe?
Yebo benginayo.
Yes, I had his number.
The parents, did you have the number for the parents for
Abazali,
for your
bakamufi.
friend?
Cha benginawo.
I did not have the numbers for the deceased parents.
And what is the number of the deceased family relative that you, what is the name of the deceased relative that you call?
Lo umndeni kamufi
Usifiso Stanley Meyiwa.
igama lakhe. It was Sifiso Stanley Meyiwa. Sifiso Stanley Meyiwa.
Okay. At what time did you call him?
Wamfonela ubani?
Or maybe at what stage, even if it cannot be specific to say at 11 or at 2, but at what stage?
Nanoma
In that-
ungakwazi ke ukuthi usho ukuthi bekuyisikhathi esinjeni.